Hello and welcome everybody to Tuesday night racing action here with the HCK Beagles Simulation Racing League. And boy, oh boy, these playoffs have been hot. They have been fast, and it's just going to get even better here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for this Muehlberger Custom Homes 175, all brought to you by Muehlberger Custom Homes. He's been a proud sponsor here pretty much all season long, especially in these closing races for this championship push. So thank you over there to Muehlberger Custom Homes for that. Well, before we get tonight's racing action underway, let's start things off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. We are live under qualifying here. We got some drivers out there on the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at how things are rolling around here for just a second while things get figured out. Seems like there's some network connectivity issues going all the way around here. That's between my streaming platform as well as some people having some of that issues here in iRacing. So hopefully things get straightened out before that green flag drops. But until then, I'm Alan Brown, and I am joined as always in the booth by Mr. Alan English, who's rushing to his chair trying to get to that microphone right now.
I'm here. It's just I'm one of the ones having some iRacing issues right now, so I'm trying once again to try to load in, but that's not going to ruin my night. I mean, this is Indianapolis. I mean, it's a historic track. It's very flat. It's hard to pass, but we've seen these guys put on a good show pretty much everywhere else they've gone, even here at Indy this year. So this season's really been exciting with the new tracks that were added. You know, this used to be a super speedway only league, and with a couple of tracks they added, they expanded the skill level and stuff required to be competitive. And these guys are very competitive, and once again, a big field out there tonight. So looking forward to some awesome racing. If we could ever get these technical issues straightened out, we'll be able to enjoy some racing tonight.
That we will, and someone who's always in the mood for some great racing, and that's that man on pit road, Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, how you doing tonight, man?
Well, I think iRacing's crap in the bed, basically. It sounds like the Russians have hacked us. I think the stream sounds like we're coming from Ukraine. Hopefully that'll work itself out. It sounds kind of crazy. 2 fast repairs, 75% fuel, minus 5% power, unlimited tires, 70 laps, 175 miles English if you need to know the math on that one. Track is hot. It was 108 last I checked, and pit speed is an issue at 60 miles an hour. We might see some action there on pit road. But hopefully we can get this internet thing fixed.
Yeah, man, that would be super swell as we look at that race info you were mentioning. But little hot out there on that racing surface. But I think these drivers will be a-okay. Other than that, nice bright sunshiny day. No weather in the forecast here for these guys, so we're gonna be able to get all of these laps in on time. Which brings us to tonight's key to the race, and it is time your push. We kind of see it at Michigan, but we really see it here at Indy. You gotta time those runs coming in and out of these corners, because if you miss it up, you're not gonna be able to get around anybody.
Yeah, and it's, as we mentioned, it's pretty difficult to pass here unless you get a really good run off of a turn and really take advantage of the draft. You can kind of slingshot yourself around somebody, but you better get a nose in before you get to that corner, because if the driver in front of you goes down to protect on that white line, there's no way you're getting around him. So this may be one of those tracks where we see some tempers flaring, because frustration is going to set in, especially for the faster trucks. And if you're behind somebody that maybe burned their tires up, you're going to have fits getting around them, and we may see a little bit of frustration with that tonight.
Well, all you got to do is just turn them, get into them and push them into the wall. That's what needs to happen. I know a lot of times turn 1 is a problem. People go in a little too hot, especially with the difference in the tire wear. And I think coming out of 4, we have some issues in the past as well. And hopefully some anger. Maybe we're not going to sound like robots the entire night. I am robot, I am robot. But other than that, we're here to have fun, man.
Yeah, thank you, Alabama Old Man, for joining us over on YouTube. And Earl Evans saying, "What's up, Triple A? Ready for some racing?" You know it, buddy. And Alabama Old Man also letting us know we're being simulcasted over there on Numb Thumbs Gaming Radio, NTG Radio. They've got a great gaming community over there at Numb Thumbs Gaming. Have their own radio station. So reaching y'all live tonight on several platforms. So hopefully keep it interesting for you guys out there truck driving or whatever y'all are doing out there tonight over at Numb Thumbs. But
oh man, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm listening. Things were starting to fix itself, or maybe I'm the idiot and my computer was messed up. Anyway, Brown, let's get this thing rocking. Amazing.
Yep,
Man,
and it's coming down to it now. After tonight, there's only gonna be 3 more races left, so it's time for these guys to make a move if they're gonna do it. Uh,
yeah.
to maybe steal a championship here.
Got some quick breaking news if y'all want it. Oh, so you do. Okay, cool. The 42 and the 96 had a wicked fight last week, and I loved every minute of it over there at Michigan. But they both got a little penalized here, so you may see them get an EOL and possibly you know, have to come in under green at stop and go. So just so you know, they're in a little trouble. No, let me correct myself real quick. He will start out front, but he has a drive-through on the green, so that's going to affect him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can't see
Oh,
anything. So
no, I got you here. You're
appreciate
still
it.
not loaded in. Man, this is an
It
amazing night
crashed.
so far.
It crashed out. So
Okay, well, the number 51 of Joshua Moore is going to be a 11th place. Number 3 of Hunter Smith, 12th. 66 of Paul Ferdiani, 13th. 408 of Rob Chowdhury, Bay Area Rob, 14th. Number 4, Eric Stoy. Looks like he'll be starting in 15th position. 15 of Cody Staten. Looks like 16th. The 64 of Cale Turbeville. He has a big fan base there. He's starting 17th. 203, Earl Evans in 18th. Number 7 of Rick LePage, 19th. Number 2, America's driver, Albert Anderson, there in 20th. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like Zachary Staten, 88, 21st place. 115, Dave Mayberry, Hot Rod, 22nd. 54, Brandon Coleman will be 24th position. 75 of Brian Skidmore, 25th. 37, Dustin Reilly, 26th. Number 5 is Stephen Naylor, 27th. Number 24, Andrew Hensley the 4th. He's got a lot of fans too in 28th position. 12 of Austin Johnson, 29th. Michael Hicks, 76 truck, 30th. iRacing's most ancient driver, the number 110, Richard Michelob Gray, 31st. And Gregory Turner's out there. He'll be in last there in the 69 machine.
Awesome. We thank you guys for alerting me about those sound issues. That was on me. That was I hit the mute button and started talking without unmuting it. So we are back live. The sound should be fixed as this pace truck gets ready to peel off down into pit lane and get things started underway here with looking like some things going on here as everybody kind of all shuffling around forward position as we get ready to go to this green flag for the first time here tonight. It is up, getting ready to be waved. Justin Lawson, Rodney Griffin, here we go, side by side, down and across the line. First time here tonight, green flag is waving. Still side by side and down into turn number 1. Rodney Griffin getting a great run there. The 20 of Justin Lawson able to jump up in behind him. He's got Josh Bittner there right behind him as well. Same thing with Derek Welsh in that one, looking very racy up here. Same thing with that 27 of Critchley. But single file we go down this long back straightaway. Let's see if anybody looks to make a move here as we're almost too wide action going on back here just behind 10th. We got, looks like Bay Area Rob Chowdhury in that 408. He's side by side with the 15 of Cody Staten and the 50. The 64 Cale Turbeville.
Yeah, there's a little bit of movement out here on the track, and I have to apologize because I'm an idiot. Kevin Winker is got an EOL and a drive-through under green. The 96 just got an EOL, so we'll see who. I guess we know who was the instigator maybe on that one, so see how that plays out through the rest of the race. But so far, looking pretty clean out here, Brown.
A nice clean start for these drivers as we have 70 laps to decide the winner here tonight. And I mean, we know the last time they came here to Indy, Cale Turbeville actually ran away with the thing, and he was coming off of a little bit of a hot streak. He was very racy last week and picked up the win there. So, and anything goes, as they say, as we enter into turns 3 and 4 up here. Curtis Critchley side by side with the 6 of Paul Durkee. Man, it looks like Critchley not really dropping spots, but he's not moving up through the field like we expect him to here, as Justin Lawson out in front continues to drive away from this kind of field a little bit, but still you got Josh Bittner in the 84 right there in tow.
Well, I'm still having issues with iRacing, but I can at least hit up some of the social media stuff we got going on. Ashley Osborne out there saying, let's go Osborne, number 81. And Joel Moore pulling for the 51. And let's see. And Men and Deer also on YouTube pulling for the 51. Joshua Moore.
Oh, 51's got a fan club in the Muehlberger Custom Homes truck. America flag on that thing. That thing looks amazing. Sure the sponsor's proud. As he's running in 10th right now, trying to get up. It's a good little battle. Is that 66 is who he's fighting with for position. Paul Ferdiani.
Paul Ferdiani driving that World Series of Poker truck. He's trying to make up some of that ground to Eric Stoy right now as these guys head off down into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, we're going to have a truck in that outside wall that they're going to have to contend with as well. Oh, looks like it's Ferdiani still kind of stuck out there.
Yeah, and I mentioned that turn 1, it seems to get the best of a lot of these guys, especially as the day wears on and your tires kind of fade a little bit. You can punch it into the wall real quick.
Also, Cody McEwen out there saying hi from Oklahoma.
All right.
We're glad to have you aboard here tonight, Cody, as we continue to run under green flag here with Paul Durkee driving that 6 machine to a fastest lap time of the race. He was able to get around Hunter Smith in that 3. So we're working our way up here for that 6 machine, really putting in some quick lap times and absolutely trying to get out in front.
Yeah, there's a pretty good battle even all the way back here, 17th, 16th. Earl Evans and Brad Taylor having a good little battle. Ferdiani and Staten now. And Rob Chowdhury and Cody Staten, one of the Staten boys.
See Brad Clay there driving the 31 Brickswork machine. He's able to get around that 203 of Earl Evans and take that spot away as he continues to try to climb and get up into that top 15.
Oh, the 42 of Kevin Winker is going to do his pass-through penalty right now, it looks like.
And it looks like I'm doing better than 7 frames per second now, so that's always good.
Oh, what a wonderful deal. Man, you're in.
I'm watching Earl Evans side by side with a 75 back here for 16th, 17th place here. As you were mentioning earlier, Coleman coming up to get in on the action in the 54.
Ooh, almost snags that outside wall, and that's going to send kind of like a little chain reaction of one of those, hey, sometimes you're just focused on the bumper of the guy in front of you, and if that guy goes up and snags that outside wall just a little bit, well, guess who else is going in the wall? You are.
I've done that so many times, following people into the wall, especially in my ARCA days, right on somebody's butt, and the next thing you know, you see sparks flying off of their car, and guess what? Same thing happens to you. Pancake the wall.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot, especially when you turned 2 at Pocono, man. I remember.
Oh, man.
You're really good at that one.
Down.
You're a great driver. All right. Well, Osborne's back here in 31st. Looks like Hicks is 29th. They're just trying to work their way up to the front. They're going to have a tough night if they have to hang out back here because they need to get some draft partners to kind of get up there with this other pack.
And Osborne, one of those guys, he's looked like he was gridded up towards the front, so I don't know what happened to him there. But he's definitely trying to get some time back. Here is up here at the front. Justin Lawson continues to lead with Josh Bittner right there, still looking straight at that bumper. So these two are not letting this thing go. You also got Rodney Griffin hanging around. Paul Durkee is lurking in that background. Same thing with the one of Derek Welch. Hunter Smith is hanging out in that just outside of that top 5 right now, but then you get a little bit of a gap, and you can see here the 4 of Eric Stoy is kind of leading that little secondary pack. He's got Curtis Critchley right behind him with the 51 of Joshua Moore and the 64 of Cale Turbeville out there as well.
got 3 Old Glory trucks all lined up in front of Austin Johnson here.
I was watching that same thing. What kind of tricks do you think these guys are up to? Really, Anderson and Mayberry? I think they got some up their sleeve here.
They got their work cut out for them starting that far back in the field. Maybe some pit strategy maybe going to happen here in a little while. How do we look on fuel here? What's the fuel?
75%.
75%.
Maybe we can get one of these people that know things that can tell us on the FaceTime machine.
I still think we're looking at a 2-stopper at least.
Oh, bare minimum, maybe even a. I don't know about a 3, but definitely a 2. I think it might be a tight 2.
Yeah, these guys are gonna be screaming for tires. A few laps in here.
Yeah, it's just so flat, and
Yep.
it's hard to.
And abrasive too.
Yeah, it tears these tires up.
So we watch the 51 get overtaken by the 64. Cale Turbeville now into 9th, looking to increase that position and continue to climb up through this field. However, Cale is one of those guys, he knows all about the tire safety and how much he can push and when to push. And I mean, we saw it last week. He was absolutely gone into another zip code by the end of last week's race. So who knows, maybe strategy's starting to play out for him a little bit here.
Al Davidson over on YouTube saying, yo, yo. And Molly Henry saying, Staten Boys. We know who she's pulling for out there, the 88 and the 15.
Yeah, it's like an old Western movie, those two.
The Staten Boys, yeah. Sound like Stagecoach Robert or something. Staten
Yeah, they're the bad guys, right?
The ones
Seems
wearing
like it.
black hats,
Yeah. One Old Glory teammate is not with the rest of his friends is Josh Bittner, man. He's just right on the tail of Justin Lawson in second place here.
And tonight's
hanging out.
sponsor, Bruce Muehlberger, joining us over on Facebook, saying, good evening, guys. Go 51 and 42. Not only is he sponsoring the race tonight and a couple more races later on in the playoffs, or the chase, he sponsors a couple of these trucks out here. So, see Muehlberger Custom Homes all over the place tonight.
You know where you can see them. You can go to HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com and check out the drivers and the sponsors and all the cool stuff going on over there. So that's something y'all need to check out, HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com.
And not only that, but you can go to MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com and check out their website and see some of the beautiful homes that Bruce and his team have built, and as well as read the testimonials that those families have put on there. And there's nothing but 5-star or greater reviews there. I know 5 stars doesn't seem like enough for some of these guys, and one of those is Bruce there at Muehlberger Custom Homes. So again, thank you for the continued sponsorship here, Bruce, as these guys are putting on a Class A show for you here tonight.
Yes, so far we haven't had any fights or nothing. Real clean stuff.
Ooh, it looks like the 1 of Derek Welsh is going to be attacked here by the 3 of Hunter Smith. He got a little wiggly there, maybe not expecting the 1 to be as slow coming off of that quarter, but he was able to time that run just fine and slide right in there in turn number 3 to take over 4th place from that Numb Thumbs Gaming Machine, Derek Welsh.
Yeah,
who snags the outside wall hard, almost coming down into pit lane. He's able to corral that thing and get that thing back going straight, but that was a hard hit for the 1.
Kyle Davidson from Numb Thumbs, or pulling for Numb Thumbs Racing out there tonight. Appreciate y'all listening over there on Numb Thumbs Radio as well.
Simulcast. Well, Numb Thumbs number 1, Derek Welch, almost lost it. I don't know how he kept a hold of that thing. He's back, seems to be running okay.
That he does, as the 64 of Cale Turbeville has a little bit of a fight going on here with Eric Stoy and Rodney Griffin. He's able to snag that position away. So Cale Turbeville slowly but surely climbing his way up this leaderboard, now up into 5th. But back onto the subject of Numb Thumb gaming machines, let's talk about that 110 of Richard Michelob Gray. He's currently back there, 27th, all alone, just kind of out there puttering around, but you got to think he might be a little tired here because he and the Gray family welcomed in a new grandson. So congratulations there, Michelob, as you enter in the joys of grandfathership there.
I told you he's probably the most ancient driver we've ever seen on iRacing. Sure it ain't great-grandfather? I'm kidding. Richard is a great sport. I like to mess with Richard a little bit, but he's one of the fun guys, and I think he's attached to the Numb Thumbs guys too, right? So
Yep, he is.
he's definitely a Numb Thumbs gamer here, and I'm glad they're listening over on the simulcast.
Looks like Joshua Moore in the 51 is going to come down into the pits. I think this is the first pit stop that we've seen here from everybody. So let's see what everybody's kind of pit road strategy is, as we're now on lap 15 out of 70. If you're Justin Lawson, who's kind of out there all by your lonesome, just a little bit, half-second lead over Paul Durkee and Josh Bittner right now. What his kind of pit decision is, because he's got Cale Turbeville closing in fast. You can definitely tell that 64 machine was just sitting and waiting and saving those tires.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are coming in here to pit.
Yeah, looks like here comes leader Justin Lawson. Paul Durkee is staying out, however. Same thing with Josh Bittner, Cale Turbeville, and Hunter Smith. Same thing with Eric Stoy as well, as a whole crew of people coming down. Rodney Griffin, Derek Welsh, Brandon Coleman, Zachary Peterson, Bay Area Rob Chowdhury in that.
Whoa! 12 locked him up, got sideways there. I'm surprised he didn't hit anybody.
Yeah, scared me.
That
there.
was scary. Yeah, scared me, man.
Little green flag racing here with Durkee and Bittner out in front. I'm expecting them to probably come down here any lap now. So it looks like just under 20 laps for one of these fuel runs, or at least maybe even tire runs here for some of these guys, as here comes Paul down into pit road. So that's going to give Josh Bittner the lead for the moment. So it might be a 3-stop race here tonight.
It's starting to look that way if they're pitting kind of this early. I mean, I'm not good at math, English. What is it in Louisiana? You think we're going to have 2 or 3 stops?
I bet it's going to be 3-stopper. I mean,
Okay.
2 stops, you'd be looking at, lap. Well, you got me second guessing myself now.
There's going to be 4.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be 3. Let me see here. Bust out the old calculator.
Slide rule.
My abacus. So 70.
84 is coming on down to pit.
Yes, he is. He also saw that 64 Cale Turbeville flying up on his tail end, but looks like the 64 is going to follow him down as well. So Hunter Smith is going to get a few laps led here under a green flag, and Eric Stoy still out there. Same thing with that 27 of Curtis Critchley, who did not get the start he really wanted to. But, he's still fighting in there, hanging out, just trying to figure out a good strategy here to make up as much time as he can. But you can start to see, the difference in old tires and new tires as some of these guys start to drive around him here.
These guys can make it on 3 stops. This is lap 18 now. If you did 17 and a half lap stints, that's what you'd have to do to do 3 equally spaced stops. And if we get a yellow, I mean, that's gonna stretch that out even a little bit farther. So I don't have any doubt in my mind that these guys can make it on 3.
As Hunter Smith come down pit lane, same thing with Eric Stoy. So Curtis Critchley is going to take the lead here for the moment while we wait for the field cycle to continue. Brian Skidmore now. Kevin Winker there in that 42. And Richard Michelob Gray out there still as well. As I think just some of our only holdouts so far there. Looks like they're planning on coming down here in just a second.
Russ Endicott saying, you know, take 2 tires on the first 2 stops and then take 4 tires on the last stop. Probably set yourself up to be quick there at the end. That's if no cautions, of course. Caution comes out, that strategy kind of goes out the window.
76 had a little issue there, as Peterson in 96 was trying to get past him.
It looks like everyone's still flowing smoothly out in front there. Still got people kind of merging and exiting and doing all the pit road stuff here on the backstretch. Josh Bittner gets by the 3 of Hunter Smith there while he was coming out of pit lane. He's trying to hunt down that 15 of Cody Staten, who's currently still sitting there. You know, he's riding around right now in a top 10 tenth. But, you know, he's definitely one of those guys looking to get a really good finish here because, man, when you're only 1 point behind somebody in the championship standings and you haven't gotten a win yet, that's doing something pretty good.
Yahtzee.
Check out old Michelob out there. Looks like he's going to lead him.
Not-
Lead him now?
No, not
he
quite.
didn't.
Curtis Critch is still hanging around out there, out in front. Has not pitted quite yet, and looks like he's going at least another lap here. He might be one of those drivers who's trying his best to push this thing to a just a 2-stopper.
Yeah, and I think part of the reasoning there was, you know, you got trucks coming in, trucks coming back out. Kind of had his fingers crossed there, hoping on a caution, I think.
And definitely could be the case as we head back through this field. You still got Kevin Winker out there as well. He has yet to come down into the pits, but other than that, you got Justin Lawson, who is almost 2 seconds clear of Paul Durkee. So Justin Lawson with a fantastic pit time there, in and out, of course, not only just the actual stoppage time. So he's way out in front, and who knows, this might be one of the times that we get to speak to that Tony machine here.
And Sobi on YouTube saying, come on, Chowdhury, let's get a top 10 tonight. Bay Area Rob with fans out there as well tonight. Long green flag stints here. I mean, this has got to kind of wear on some of these guys' nerves as well, because I like a caution every now and then just to kind of break things up, take a deep breath, you know, maybe rethink some strategy and stuff, and just kind of relax.
Yeah.
For a couple of laps, but not getting it tonight.
No, definitely not. And I mean, at this point, we're all spread out. I think if we see something happen, it's, you know, going to be a 2-truck incident. And at this point, I don't even think we may not even see that. Of course, you know, words don't mean anything until the checker flag waves. But I think we're in store for a flag-to-flag run here tonight.
Oh, you done did it now.
Yes, I did.
If anything brings out the caution, it's comments like that's what's going to do it. But
as we're watching the 51 of Joshua Moore try to catch up to that back bumper of the 64 Cale Turbeville. Currently riding around in 5th, trying to get a little bit better position there. Same thing with the 97 of Rodney Griffin. He's been inching up on that back bumper of the 84 Josh Bittner, also in that fight for a top 10. But we head back down to where 13th and 14th are. You got Zachary Peterson, Mark Collins, and Brandon Coleman all nose to tail here, all fighting to try to figure out how they can get up into that top 10.
uh-oh, this Critchley has no brakes.
Uh-oh.
I just got that update. I guess that's from Gregory Turner.
Yep, up in the booth, and let's kind of watch the stop here, see if he can get that thing stopped in time.
I wonder if it's a hardware issue, if he's having problems with his pedals or something. How would you do that? I mean,
I don't know. Well, it looks like he was able to get down into his box okay, so I wonder if he did a quick wheel reset or calibration on the fly and was able to get everything back working here. But, man, it's going to be close there for that 27 machine if he wants to do that two-stop strategy. I think he can do it, however.
stretch, I'm sure.
And if he does, that is going to be the gutsiest call of the race. And man, that is some great driving if he's able to pull it off. But we still have, man, like 35 laps or something like that here.
That's his
left
first
to go.
time pitting, though, right?
Yeah, first time pitting.
Okay. Yeah, he's good to go. Now, does he pit again on lap, 48 or something to try just keep pressing it sideways to try to get the newest tires he can get at the end?
Man, that's the question: is will tires come into a play at that late of a stage? Because all these guys are going to be running, consistently 10-lap fresher tires than him.
Well,
so he's got to do that big old save game if he wants to continue to run those long stints.
And what I'm seeing right now is he took 4 tires in fuel. So, I mean, he lost quite a few 10 seconds on some of these guys that just took fuel only. A couple other guys took 2 tires, so he's losing ground to them as well.
Now, do you agree with that no tire call, or do you think these guys are just really banking on a caution coming out here at some point? Because,
well, I mean, if they can make it to lap 35 or so, I mean, they'll still be on the same pit strategy. So I'm leaning more towards what Russ Endicott was saying. Let's take 2 tires on the first stop, 2 tires on the second stop, and then stop number 3 around lap 50, 53, something like that. Then you take 4 tires, and you just let it all hang out, and you don't stop anymore.
Man, I just couldn't imagine what those tires must feel like. Ugh.
Yeah, well, we keep doing stuff like that, we may actually have us a good caution at some point.
We continue to put laps down here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Paul Durkee in that 6 machine slowly, ever so slowly, closing that gap up to the first place of 20, Justin Lawson. He's got Cale Turbeville about a second and a little extra behind him.
Ridgely coming back down pit road again.
Oh, I wonder if that might be a speeding in pit road penalty if he had no brakes to slow down coming down into those pits. We will keep you apprised of that situation as we continue to roll around.
I don't see a black flag next to his name on the entry screen. So I really don't know what happened there.
Well, out here, out in front, man, that gap has come down quickly. Paul Durkee now all over that back bumper, the 20 of Justin Lawson. You can see there, that 64 Cale Turbeville, he is just sitting there and waiting, as well as behind them you got Joshua Moore, Josh Bittner, and Hunter Smith all nose to tail here, fighting for this top 5 and 4th place position.
Well, I hate to say it, but that second stop that Ridgely had to make, that may have ended his competitive run tonight. I think is he still being scored on the lead lap?
Man, he may, depending on how things kind of cycle around. I know you can come down and be safe here. As Joshua Moore coming down very early here into the pits, doing his second stop of the night. Looks like he did a 2-tire stop the last time he came in, so I wonder if something's not going quite right with the other side of those. with those tires.
That's about right. He came in at 15.
Oh, it is about 15
Yeah.
laps. Wow. All right. Man,
So-
well, that's what happens here is we got a pass going on here. The 6 of Durkee got around Lawson, but we got the 64 Cale Turbeville coming around now as well. And so Cale takes the lead here on lap 29 out of 70. But, man, just like that, you know, especially with the difference of pit strategies and everything, that's how easy it was to kind of get lost in what lap we're on and when people are coming down, just like the 6 of Durkee and the 20 of Lawson coming down now with Turbeville out in front, Bittner in second, and the 3 of Hunter Smith in third.
Race is flying by. This is what happens when we get on these races where we just have a huge green flag session like we're having right now. They click off quick.
That they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, they sure are, and it makes the race go by fast, but it's really hard to kind of keep up with the cycle, the pit cycle, who's doing what and who's going to be where as they come out. So it gets a little confusing.
It does, as everything's kind of getting spaced out a little bit. We saw there just a battle for a second between Bittner and Hunter Smith. And also got a little battle here, the 97 of Rodney Griffin and the 15 of Cody Staten as the 1 of Derek Welsh comes down into pit road. Looks like that 97 machine of Rodney Griffin, and he's trying as best as he can to suck back up to that bumper of Cody, but just not having. As here we go, Josh Bittner right behind the 3 of Hunter Smith. Hunter able to just sneak his way around as they went into turns 1 and 2. So let's see if Josh has a answer for him here.
Russ Endicott over on Facebook saying all that strategy sounds good, but none of it worked for me last week, so who knows? Just go fast and turn left.
Yeah, that seems like the best idea, actually.
You got to try to plan a little bit, but what they say about best laid plans.
Well, how tough is Bittner's coming in? Forget that question.
Same thing
Bittner's
with
kinda
Cale
tagged the
Turbeville.
wall.
Ooh, yes, he was, and I think he might have even snagged one of those cones there. So he might have a penalty for unsafe pit road entry. We'll have to see.
Who was that? 84?
84 Bittner, yep.
I don't see anything yet. Of course, it's not going to flag it on here until he crosses start finish, I think.
Yeah,
I don't see anything.
Yeah, okay. Well, the 3 of Hunter Smith is going to enjoy some lead laps here with Eric Stoy in second, Cody Staten in third, and Rodney Griffin driving that 97 machine currently around in fourth. We got some people racing coming off of pit road here as Cale Turbeville looks like he took a very quick 4-tire stop of 13.2. Good gracious almighty.
Man, I wonder if he took 2 full cans, or if he backed down just a touch.
Definitely possible as he's looking to try to chase down the rest of these guys. As Justin Lawson, one of those guys who pitted a little bit earlier than them, is looking to try to stay out in front. He's got the 6 of Paul Durkee right there in his rear view mirror. These guys have both taken their second round of pit stops here. So this is a race that is going on under the pit cycle.
Peyton McGowan said, that reminds me of when Bittner, in real life, when he drives through cones. And then she quickly said, for legal reasons, that was a joke.
Ratting him out.
And HCK Beagles Racing League, I'm sure that's Gregory Turner out there typing for them over on Facebook, but says, congrats to Eric Stoy, driver of the number 4 on his newborn baby. First race at the track with us since the baby was born. He took last week off. Of course, you got to do that when you're a new daddy. So we're glad to have him back this week. Congrats to Eric and his family.
Yes, absolutely. As we continue to tick laps away here, we're about to cross that halfway threshold under a green flag here. As we're watching that one of Derek Welsh, and he's been really fighting to get back around and really get a good spot here tonight. Still waiting on the official pit cycle to continue to loop around. Hunter Smith out there in front with that 97 of Rodney Griffin and the 31 of Brad Clay, all trying to continue to stay on this lead lap as things continue to tick by slowly but surely.
Yeah, not even a little bit of an incident really here. Just a couple of entries into pit road have been kind of tough, but other than that, no crashing.
Been very clean.
So 2 of Albert Anderson gets his lap back. Got it back the hard way and able to stay inside this top 20. Currently in 18th. Albert, one of those guys, not too enthralled with Indianapolis, but still enjoys it nonetheless. And just who knows? He's one of those guys hoping for a caution to get everything restacked up so he can try to climb back his way through this field.
So this is one of those tracks, this is one of those leagues where just about every track, you have to practice green flag pitting and hitting that mark, getting it back down before you hit that cone, because these guys do it so well. I mean, as far as green flag racing, we see so many green flag laps turned by these guys. Even at stuff like iRacing Super Speedway. Didn't we have a flag to flag earlier in the season at iRacing Super Speedway? So I mean, yeah, if you're in the HCK Beagles Racing League, that's one thing you really need to practice is hitting under green, because you're going to have to do a lot of it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how they're doing it. Looking at the track temp, it's up to 124, the temperature on the track. It may make it a little bit more slippery as we go along.
Yeah, and grip is one of those things that really, really does matter here. It looks like we're getting a little cloud cover on a couple of turns in the track as well. Maybe that'll help kind of cool things down, because 120-something degrees, that's not fun to race on.
No, it's not. But not only that, but that also makes it kind of a little bit more difficult when you have different track positions and different quarters, man. If I'm going to get shade, I want shade on the entire thing, not just 1 or 2 corners, across the track from each other, because things can change quickly there. And man, drivers love consistency, and when something like that changes, man, it can throw you through a loop.
15 of Cody Staten thought he was clear of Curtis Critchley and came across his bumper, and the 15 almost turned himself, but he caught it, then came on the radio to apologize to Curtis Critchley. But yeah, Cody Staten thought he was clear there and came up, just about pit maneuvered himself.
Man, it's the 15. Oh, the 15 and the 54 gets together and sends the 54 up into the wall, and that's going to bring out the yellow flag.
Wow. Curtis Critchley had a heck of a view on that one.
Man, you are not kidding.
That 54 came awfully close to catching him there, too.
Let's slow this one down and head on to our official Sky Chopper cam here to really get a look-see as we see the 15 and the 54 heading through turn number 3 and now going into turn number 4.
Pushed up, man.
It's gonna be... Oh, man, yeah, just a meeting of the minds there. Just both drivers trying to get as far inside as possible, and hard impact for that 54. Straight into that outside wall. Ooh, big check of everyone able to scatter back around. Let's go ahead and take a look-see here from that driver cam of Curtis Critchley here. See if we can't get a good view. Oh, Pinwheel. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Get that man some new shorts.
Tell you what, a couple of them trucks coming around while Coleman was stopped there. Heck of a job avoiding the accident there. Some went in the grass, some went up high. Great job, great awareness.
Cody Staten's going to get the EOL for the cause in that accident. I think everybody agreed on that one. And it's just got a little slippery.
As we're gonna, this actually threw a big ol' wrench into some of these guys' plan. Is Critchley and Winker and Skidmore, all people who haven't taken their second round of pit stops here, basically getting a freebie. So I would assume everybody's gonna come down.
One more tidbit from Russ Endicott saying, he says, Mongo says Tenderfoot is only pawn in race at Indy. A little bit of blazing saddles there for you.
Well,
everybody will get that.
He's kind of riding it okay. It's not like he's having a terrible race. He's just kind of running the middle of the pack. Oh, Albert Anderson.
Brad Taylor, we forgot to mention a few minutes ago, Brad Taylor, the driver of 31, has manually disconnected. Pennsylvania native. Guess we'll have to wait to see him race next week.
Yes, we will, as here we go, the race off of pit road. It goes to that 42 of Kevin Winker, followed by Lawson, Skidmore, Durkee, and then Turbeville. A couple people staying out, Hunter Smith and Cody Staten, but we know Cody is going to be headed kind of backwards here through this field as things get back to green flag here in just a little bit, well past that halfway point.
And Hunter Smith did pit on lap 36, so he's probably going to wait till at least around lap 50 or so before he comes in for his final pit stop. I'm sorry, probably closer to 55.
So
stupid math.
And just like that, that caution, it changes everything. As Kevin Winker, who was looking kind of down and out with his penalties that he had to serve, now back in it, up there in that top 5. Same thing with Justin Lawson, who's been having a great race, is sticking around up there as well. But really, probably a big save here is Curtis Critchley in that 27, able to hang on into a top 10 spot, man, because whatever caused him to come down pit road that second time, man, that if this thing went flag to flag, that's the moment you knew that it absolutely cost him.
Cody State just came down pit road and got busted for speed, and he got a black flag coming in pit road under caution. Emily Jane Smith over on YouTube said, let's go Hunter, get you another big win. So Hunter Smith got some support out there on the YouTube. Russ Endicott saying, break out the abacus. That strategy just got thrown out the window.
Yes, it did.
Sure thought that might happen.
When we go back to green flag racing here, it's going to be Hunter Smith up in front. Kevin Winker looks like he's going to be starting outside in second. Justin Lawson will be restarting here in third with Brian Skidmore in fourth. The 64, Cale Turbeville in fifth. Paul Durkee sixth. The one at Derek Welsh in seventh. Curtis Critchley in 8th, Zachary Peterson 9th, and Eric Stoy rounding out the top 10 as of right now. But as we all know, once when that green flag waves, man, everything changes as this thing continues to get even better and better. I mean, we saw great race in action there under green flag, but now that everything's grouped back up and a little bit tighter, man, people got to be a little careful. They were used to the little bit of extra space that they got used to running. Well, you don't got that now. As there we go, the pace car coming down into the pit lane
waiting for the green flag here with Hunter and Kevin. Here we go. Green flag's waving. Let's watch them come across this line here, full head of steam.
Looks like Smith and Winker both went early there before the green flag came out.
I think it's leader's discretion there. So
Leader's discretion here? Okay. They don't have to go on green. Gotcha.
I don't believe so, but either way, Hunter Smith out in front, able to tuck into line here. Kevin Winker, same thing. So the top three are all nose to tail, but we head on back to 6, where we see Cale Turville. He's trying to fight up the inside of that 6 of Paul Durkee. And it looks like not quite enough run for him to try to make that move, but right behind him is the 27 and the 1 going side by side here through turns 3 and 4. Man, still side by side. Derek Welsh kind of losing that position to Critchley. He looks like almost might lose that position to the 96 of Peterson as well, but no, able to slide right up in front of that nose.
Molly Henry over on YouTube pulling for Zach Staten in the 88. Zach sitting back at 18th right now, but still on the lead lap. This thing ain't over by a sight.
No, as the 42 of Winker sneaks his way around that 3 of Hunter Smith, maybe just having that slightly newer tires is helping him out here just a little bit. He's got Justin Lawson in that 20 now, hunting down that 3, trying to figure out a way to get around. Paul Durkee still just kind of sitting there ready to jump at any opportunity, any little mistake that some of these guys might make, as everybody's still all kind of single filing out. Oh, little kind of crossover switchover move here, attempt by that 96 of Peterson, looking to the inside of the 1 Derek Welsh, but not able to get the run. If anything, he lost a big chunk of momentum. That's going to allow the 4 of Eric Stoy to get by, and almost the 97 of Rodney Griffin, but the 96 able to sneak up and tuck up inside there.
Stephanie and Johnny Watson over on Facebook pulling for Hunter Smith. Up there's Hunter. Continues to run a great race up there in front.
Yeah, we hadn't really mentioned too much. Kevin Winker had the EOL at the beginning of the race, and he had the pass-through under green. So, man, pretty amazing for him to be sitting where he is right now.
Man, basically this entire lap, that 96 and the 4, Peterson and Stoy have been side by side, neither driver giving an inch. The 97 of Rodney Griffin just telling these guys, figure it out so I can get around both of you, please. As he just waits and waits and waits, waiting for that timing of a run. Maybe peeking to the inside. No, looks like he might actually help out the 4 here, give him a little bit of a bump draft.
We're seeing that right in front of the 97 of Griffin. That's allowed him to catch up pretty quick to the back of the 96, the 408 of Bay Area Rob Chowdhury, and look right behind him, 66, Paul Ferdiani. If you go side by side in front of you, that's kind of what you want to see.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle right back here with these guys all the way to 13.
And same thing here with the 20, just sneaking around that 3 of Hunter Smith. I think those 4 extra laps are actually showing a little bit there for that 3. He's still okay, in pretty good spot, still in that top 3, but he's also now going to be facing a little bit of a charge here, I think, from the 6 of Paul Durkee, looking to the inside. Lawson even tucking down towards the inside, maybe giving that 6 a little extra draft to try to get around that 3.
Griffin and Stoy side by side into one contact. 97 got the better of the deal right there, and here comes the 408 inside of Stoy also. Lee.
Yeah, they were lucky that didn't turn both of them sideways there. They really got into it.
Still see it there, side by side. Stoy and Chowdhury now still battling it out, man. Guys putting it in their absolute all, as you can see right behind him. You had Paul Ferdiani in the 66 split up. 2 of the Old Glory drivers, Albert Anderson and Jonathan Osborne. This all happening back here in the kind of middle of the field between 13th and 15th, but even then, you can see that long line of trucks just absolutely peeling off here down. Here comes actually Albert Anderson looking to the inside of these guys. He was tired of seeing them fight, and he wants in on some of this action.
Whoa! 66 with a pretty strong move down the track, stopping the progress of the truck behind him, but now 66 is off the outside wall. Mercy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to correct stuff at 175 miles an hour, but it seems like they're doing a pretty good job of it. We do have minus 5% power on these trucks out here. And I'm wondering if that's helping them keep it on the track.
And what does that do for the racing as far as the draft and stuff goes? I guess it kind of makes it a little bit more important here, especially on these long straights.
I think it does a little bit as the 88 and the 54 go door to door, checking each other into the wall. Oh, the 54 hard impact into that outside wall. The 88 getting pinched out there as well, but both drivers able to keep all four wheels on the ground and facing the correct direction, so they're going to be able to drive that one away. But man, that's some heavy damage on that outside of the 54.
Good job having that camera pointed right where it needed to be at that particular time. 54, a little bit of damage on the right rear. He already used one of his fast repairs in that big wreck earlier where he came away from it smoking. Here comes Dave, not Rod Mabry inside of him. Go ahead.
It looked like some dirt track in there, beating and banging. I can't believe they held it together as well. That is.
Well, we've talked about it a whole bunch. You know, these trucks are very forgiving. You know, you can get there's just so much surface area on the sides of these things. When they get sideways, it's like a sail trying to keep itself straight, you know. Of course, there's a limit to that, but I think it's a little bit easier to save it. We saw Albert Anderson go 90 degrees sideways one day and save it. I mean, it can be done. Not every time, but we're going 3 wide here with Staten, Moore, and Coleman on the back stretch. As they approach turn 3, let's see who's going to blink.
Nobody. Has a little bit of contact there. Looks like the 5 of Stephen Naylor ends up losing that battle. Kind of stuck on that outside line and just kind of was running around there with the 88, who got a perfect view of all that racing action. And I'm sure he was thinking possibility of a caution coming out there from that situation. As we take a look here, the 37 of Dustin Riley is side by side with teammate 84, Josh Bittner.
Tell you what, you can barely read the number on the left side of the 54 machine. It's he's had that thing just about rubbed off with some contact from other trucks, and
I hadn't heard a peep out of him either. I'm wondering if he's doing that silent thing where, you know, might be a little upset.
kind of like our buddy Derek when he gets perturbed, he'll just shut down and he won't say a thing. That's when you know you're in trouble.
As Cale Tuberville back in the hunt as Kevin Winker drove away just a little bit from this field, well, as they were trying to fight here with the Hunter Smith, who's dropped now back down to 6th. So Winker out in front by about 8/10, almost 9/10 over Justin Lawson, but Cale Tuberville closing in on Lawson just a little bit here. Just got that pass done on the 6 of Durkee.
Just about went 3 wide again back here with Moore, Staten, Ferdiani, and the 203 of Evans.
So you're saying things are not done yet?
I don't think they are. As soon as I say that, though, everybody's back single file and behaving.
And that's the nature of the beast here at Indianapolis. Things can change at a moment's notice. You could be 3 wide, next thing you know, you're all single filed and everyone's all hum-de-dum, la-de-da.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody's still going to have to come down and take one more pit stop, I believe.
Yeah, that they will.
Pitted around lap 40.
So what is it, right around lap 55, give or take?
7, yeah, something like
So
that.
about 15 laps to go, which we are starting to kind of come up towards here, just about 4 laps away from it. As we watch here behind Joshua Moore, the 15 of Cody Staten gets out in front of the 203 of Earl Evans.
96 just called in his pit, Zachary Peterson. So So he should be coming down.
Richard Michelob Gray trying to get back up here, trying to snag that lucky dog back.
And here comes Lawson, Durkee, Smith, Skidmore, Peterson, Griffin, Anderson, and Collins all coming down into pit lane, taking their final pit stop. And of course, with it being the final pit stop, you know this is the official money stop here for HCK Beagles.
The guys like Bittner can push it an extra couple of laps because he pitted a little bit later. So let's see if he stays out to the end of his fuel run a few more laps here, hoping for a caution.
Of course, while all that is happening, Cale Tuberville continues to try to run down Kevin Winker. He's running about 4/10 a lap quicker than Winker, and Winker can see Cale there in that rearview mirror, and they're both coming down into the pit lane at the same time here. Ooh, locking him up behind him is Curtis Critchley in that 27, trying to be as aggressive as he can here. Same thing with the one to Derek Welsh, but looks like everyone able to get things slowed down just in time. So Eric Stoy is going to hold the lead in the meantime as an interim and get these cycles underway.
Moore just got busted for speed, and he bounced off the wall, locked him up, smashed the cone.
I don't
Black flag for speeding into the pits.
I don't even think he was trying to pit. He hit the outside wall, bounced inside, and had no choice. So, might as well pit since you got stuck in there.
Might as well. As we take a look here, driver we really haven't mentioned too much here today. The 115 of Dave Hot Rod Mayberry. He's kind of stuck between a couple of fellow vigilante guys here and trying to bob and weave his way through.
What's Richard Michelob Gray doing there?
Yeah, I thought they might be going 3 wide there for a second.
He did. He squeezed right through.
And here comes Hot Rod, to make his pit stop. A couple other takers as well.
Rick LePage, Dustin Riley, all coming down into the pits, but still waiting on Eric Stoy, Jonathan Osborne. Looks like Josh Bittner, like you said, pitting that extra lap, so he can stay out there just a little bit longer. Earl Evans as well, maybe, I think so, yeah.
Ashley Osborne on YouTube saying shows how it's done, 81. But he's up there, he's sitting in second right now, so he still has to make a stop. Him and Stoy both, and Evans.
Are they waiting for maybe a caution? Get lucky?
I think so. I like where Bittner's sitting right now. That 84, he's sitting, what do they call it? He's sitting in the catbird seat right now. He's waiting for something to happen. Because as we mentioned, he can stay out a couple more laps. Lead a lap, get a point.
Oh, now Turner, if you could do me a favor and go back and review the tape, but I'm showing Cale Tuberville with a 1.6 second pit time, which would tell me, really, that's fuel only. And at this late stage in the race, everybody taking 4 tires.
I will review the tape. I don't know how to do that. That's about the only thing I can do here.
Don't know if that's just a glitch on my end or...
I think it's a glitch. Looks like he took 4 tires. It's looking like to me.
Oh, okay.
And fuel. Actually overshot his pit box too.
Bittner coming down into the pits, yep. As still got Eric Stoy and Jonathan Osborne out there. Separated by almost 2 seconds, but we still have that battle here. You got Paul Durkee and Kevin Winker came down right around the same time. They've been side by side, and they've got Cale Tuberville hauling butt up their rear ends as well. As things get heated here in the final 15 laps, now 14 laps to this 70-lap race here at Indianapolis. All brought to you by Muehlberger Custom Homes.
Ooh, Yahtzee. That's what them guys like to see. The guys behind the 42 and the 6, they love seeing that side-by-side. It gives them a chance to like you said, close that gap.
Yeah, anytime somebody's kind of fighting in front of you, yeah, it's going to play to your advantage at a track like this.
And it looks like Jonathan Osborne's going to lead a couple laps here as Eric Stoy comes down into pit road, and that's just going to about complete our pit cycles here. So it is just a race to the finish with Jonathan Osborne out in front, but like I said, he's going to have to come down into pit road at some point. He's got Justin Lawson out in front of Paul Durkee and Kevin Winker, but these guys have been slowly trying to close that gap. And Kel Turbeville is right there waiting, just ready to jump for an opportunity to get around and get some more space.
Bittner's in a little battle here. Bittner's sitting 19th, and he's trying to get around Staten and Coleman, who've had some issues together.
Slowly but surely making his way up, kind of trying to get through this field. He's got quite a few guys around him. Coleman and Staten there is Cody Staten in that 15, man. He was looking pretty strong running up towards that front, but right now back in 19th as of right now, and looks like he needs to do another pit stop still as well. So Cody Staten, one of those guys who's looking very strong, as we're side by side up here, the 64 and the 6, Turbeville and Durkee. All this going on, but looks like Kale is going to hold off on that charge here, realizing right now maybe not be the time to try to make this move, as the more these guys work together, the quicker they can chase down that 20 of Lawson.
Yeah, who's still trying to chase down Osborne, but he's going to have to pit here shortly. Gonna have to.
Yeah, Osborne just trying to take advantage and stay out as long as he possibly can. 'Cause he knows one thing, that the longer he stays out there, the newer tires he's gonna have right there at the end, especially if they get a caution, everybody stacks back up.
At that they will, as Winker continues to try to close that gap on Lawson. It's now just under a second, so he is inching his way. He is running about 7/10, give or take, faster per lap. So that might have also just been a bad lap there, as everything continues to work its way through. As we take a look here back at this little battle box here for second, you can just see how closely these guys are kind of stacked up into this top 4, top 5 right now. Hunter Smith as well, one of those guys. He's not too far off of that 6 of Paul Durkee, who just got passed by that 64 Turbeville. So Turbeville now trying to hunt down that 42 at Winker.
I like the little battle box graphic. It's kind of cool. It's something we use all the time, but pretty relevant here.
Oh, yes, it is. As the 27 of Critchley tries to fight his way up and try to get around that 3 of Hunter Smith, who goes way into the inside on the back straightaway, trying to break that draft as much as he can, trying to not allow that 27 any free speed. As way back behind him, you got the 84 of Bittner and the 25 of Collins and the 408 of Bay Area Rob Chowdhury, all having a little battle side by side. Bittner and Chowdhury go. It looks like Bittner will get that spot.
The 6 and the 75, pretty hot battle here for, what is that, 10th place? Oh, 75, Wiggle almost caught a piece of the 96. They're begging for some net code. That was tight.
Ooh, shuts the door.
There he goes.
Yeah, he really threw that truck up in there and able to hang on to it. Great save there from the 96, and he's actually even able to hold on to the position. But here comes the 97, who was just right behind them, and he had everything timed out just right, saw something happening, so he's going to try to fly up and around as Jonathan Osborne now comes down into the pit to complete the cycle. But you knew it was coming. You saw that gap that the 96 of Peterson kind of tried to slide up into. Man, when you go into one of these corners, that doesn't leave a lot of room whatsoever, as Kevin Winker up in front gets around Justin Lawson. So Kevin Winker comes across the line, new leader here tonight, as Cale Turville as well still hunting these guys down. Paul Durkee falling off just a little bit. Looks like Curtis Critchley was able to get around Hunter Smith back there, able to take over 5th place, so he's got about 2.5+ seconds trying to make up there. But here comes Cale now. He's going to attack that 20 of Lawson with 8 laps remaining. He wants to get around him to try to hunt down Kevin Winker.
Yeah, Jonathan Osborne, just watch Chachi come down. He did take 4 tires. He's got his work cut out for him. He really needs a caution here towards the end. Those tires will definitely pay off if he does get one.
Yeah, it could definitely play into his hands if he can just stay with the program, you know what I'm saying? And he's got the freshest tires out there. Griffin, 97, hits the wall.
Ooh, it's weaving around, saved it. Anderson looking low on the 75.
All that's going on while up in front, Cale Turville does get that spot away from the 20 of Justin Lawson. Ooh, 97, man. He is pushing with all his might, trying to run as fast as he can. But the problem is, the second you start touching that outside wall, man, it just seems like the car gets magnetized, and every single time you go through those corners, it just keeps wanting to go out there.
And it's like throwing a parachute out, too. I mean, especially with the reduced horsepower package that they're running here. Yeah, you have any kind of contact with the wall, even if it's a half a second scrape, you're going to lose the spot probably.
All this battle going on for a top 10. Albert Anderson with a nice run here up into 9th. He's going to try to hold off Eric Stoy back here, but man, it's going to be a tall task because Stoy does have the much fresher tires by about 5 laps. So we'll see how long Albert can hold on to that position. Same thing with that one of Curtis Critchley, or excuse me, the Derek Welch. He's trying to get around and hold off that 3 of Hunter Smith, as the gap up to the lead between the leaders is right around half a second with 6 laps remaining. And man, oh man, when we started seeing that first long green flag run, we were not expecting, a race gonna be this close here coming towards the end. But man, oh man, are we happy that it is.
Yeah, we got some severe weather moving in. It looks like we got a tornado warning just north of Longview, Texas. And that mess of storms, of course, is heading straight towards me, so
Well,
I'll definitely give you guys a warning if I have to jump off here and find my motorcycle now.
hang on to Toto.
Yeah, well, with 5 laps remaining, forget the motorcycle helmet. It's time to strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out that window, man, because this is coming down to it. Every single position here has playoff implications. Kevin Winker out in front, needing a good finish to try to climb out of the hole that he's in. Cale Turville trying to continue his run here, trying to go back-to-back winner. Justin Lawson as well. He's in that playoff chase, as well as that 6 of Durkee and the 27 of Critchley, all trying to get as many points possible out of this race, because after this, I think we're going to pretty much just super speedway races. And man, when it comes to super speedways, you really can't rely on solid finishes here, because that's even more of a gamble than rolling snake eyes there in Waco.
That's definitely correct. And this is the most technical track I think we're going to run out of the last section of this season. So
Are we going back to Michigan? Thought we might.
this is way more technical than Michigan. Even though I'm a champion at Michigan, I could teach you how to win there if anybody would listen to me.
Well, nose to tail. He is right there. Kevin Winker trying to break the draft from Cale Turville there, all over that back bumper. Now with 3 laps remaining, Does the 42 have enough in the tank? Did he save enough tires here towards this end to try to hold off that 64 machine? Does the 20 of Lawson have enough to hold off the 27 of Critchley, who's got a 2.5 second lead on him? Does Critchley have enough to hold off that 6 of Durkee, who might have been saving a little bit of extra here coming towards the end? As we continue to tick laps away, kind of looking back through this field a little bit here as our last little glimpse, you can see the 97 of Rodney Griffin and the 408 of Bay Area Rob going side by side here, going down the back straightaway. It looks like that 408 able to get that position as we head back up to the action up at the front, coming down to the line. 2 laps now remaining. Kevin Winker going all the way down to the inside, now back up to the wall again, trying to break that draft from the 64. The 64 begging and pleading his tires to stick here as he continues to try to make a move here on that 42.
Gotcha keeps passing cars, or trucks rather, but he's quickly running out of time. He really needs caution if he's going to make a run at the front here. Great battles all over the track here.
At 42.
It really is.
42 of Winker looks to the inside, back to the outside, and back to the inside again, trying to break whatever draft he can. Here comes the 64. No! He thought about peeking his nose inside before going into turn number 4 here, but second guessed it and is going to tuck right back into this draft as they come down this home front straightaway here, getting ready to take to the white flag, going all the way down into the wall just about. Goes the 64 and the 42. Now back up to the far outside wall with the white flag waving. No more cautions here tonight. We're going to finish this one on this lap as Kevin Winker and Cale Turbeville go through turns 1 and 2. Cale losing a little bit of momentum there. Maybe strategy call, trying to loosen up a little bit of space to try to get a run here with the final back straight and the final corners yet to go. They are coming up on some lap traffic here, but I don't know if that's going to come into play. Oh, as the lap traffic snags the outside wall a little bit, so he might come into play after all. Going through turns 3 here, still a little bit of a gap, about quarter of a second there from Cale and Kevin coming up through turn number 4. The yellow Yahoo machine's going to be right there in the middle of the track. They're going to have to try to duck and avoid. It's going to be a close one coming down to the line. Cale's tucked into the draft as much as he can from the 42, but it will not be enough with Kevin Winker coming across the line, picking up tonight's race win.
Oh, Team America really was doing some blocking there at the last lap, looked like, but it worked for him.
Bruce has got to be happy that a race he's sponsored and a car he's sponsored wins the race. So, oh man, you got some carnage happening going across the yard of bricks down here. 7 to Rick LePage, spinning like a top down there, missing some pieces now.
Oh, that's always fun.
Big wreck in here.
Naylor and Joshua Moore.
51. Looks like you're just having fun now.
Yeah, you know how it is. A long, strenuous race like this, just...
Yeah.
Once when you cross the line, you want to let go of that wheel and just let it go. As Cale Turbeville, man, just short. Same thing with the 20 of Lawson, who had such a great race there. As you can see people just absolutely flying into Lawson there, trying to get him out of sores. But Kevin Winker able to do some burnouts here tonight, and man, it was a long time coming for that 42. He's had a string of bad luck, but finally breaking that string.
And podcast crew, vigilante podcast crew out there wrecking each other after the race too. Anderson and Bittner having a little bit of fun.
Well, you might as well. I mean, that was long, Brown. I mean, and they were pretty much in it the whole time. One caution, so lots of racing, probably just blowing off some steam there at the end.
Absolutely, and I mean, I know this is the last time that we were at least coming here to Indy. Let's see if I can't pull up that schedule one final time we can take a quick preview.
Talladega. We got Talladega, then ISS, and then back to Talladega. That's the final 3 races of the season.
Oh man, so you got a gamble, a gamble, and a gamble.
And another gamble.
Coming up for your final 3 races, and man, things are getting nice and close for these playoff championships. Well, as we get ready here, let's go on down and talk to our 3rd place finisher here, and that is that 20 of Justin Lawson, who had a very solid run, quite a few laps led here tonight. Justin, just not quite enough to pick up the win, but is still a solid 3rd place here.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll take top 5s all day long.
Yeah, we were just discussing the rest of the schedule. The rest of the schedule is it's going to be quite treacherous for you guys. We got Talladega next week, then iRacing Super Speedway following that week, and then Talladega again for the championship race. We talk a lot about, plate racing and pack racing, but there's a lot of luck involved. What are you going to do to kind of try to hedge your chances a little bit?
There's nothing you really can do. Just try to put yourself in safe situations. Try to, if you see somebody really going for it, if you're on a white flag lap and guys sticking you 3 wide, it's better to finish 4th than it is getting wrecked out trying to win it. So just at this point, it's points racing. It's stressful and maybe not as fun to watch, but it's kind of the name of the game this late in the season.
Well, you got some points here. Quite a long race, basically one yellow flag. So there was a whole lot of strategy going on the track. How much was it weighing on you? Just all that driving and thinking about when you need to pit and how you need to, approach the pit stop and your strategy throughout this race.
Yeah, we had it pretty well mathed out. We were going to do really good on pit strategy. That caution definitely did not help me or any of the other East Coast guys. I think we had them whooped on strategy. Kale's still so smooth and fast. He was going to be really hard to beat because every time we would cycle through the pits, he would be right there with us. We were short pitting a little bit, but he was just so fast at end of runs. He was going to be tough because we were short pitting early trying to get ahead, and then the last couple of runs are going to be long, and that was going to be tough against him. And then Winker, he's bad fast, but he got real lucky with that caution, I can tell you that.
And I'm sure when we talk to him, he's going to say the exact same thing, man. But still a solid podium finish here for that 20 machine. I know you were looking to start to get some more good results here, especially with only 3 races remaining. You had some work cut out for you to try to work and pick up a championship, and this one definitely helps. Before we let you go here, Justin, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank all my teammates, Paul, Curtis, even some of the, maybe not teammates, but partners in this league, Rick, Naylor, Eric Stoy, all those guys. Congratulations to Eric. He's a daddy now. But, yeah, just having fun.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on the 3rd place podium finish here tonight, and we look forward to maybe seeing you up here again within these final 3 races here, buddy.
I hope so.
All right, so we talked to him last week, so we're going to talk to him second this week, and that is that 64 Cale Turbeville. You tried as much as you can there, Cale, but Kevin Winker just had enough on you on that final lap. I think that lap traffic probably didn't help as much either, but man, talk about how much of a strategy race this became, and then all of a sudden with that late caution, man, everything went out the window and it suddenly became a dogfight.
Yeah, that messed me all up big time. I figured I could probably make it to him if that didn't happen, but it did. That race, I threw it away with qualifying. Had me a bad pit box and got me all out of whack for tires on Lawson and Durkee.
I've never heard such melancholy out of somebody that finished second, but I'm just kidding with you, man. That's you can almost taste it, right there at the end. And yeah, man, next week's gonna be a completely different animal. Lawson, when we just talked to him here just a second ago, he talked about how smooth and how fast of a driver you are. And that's got to be a good compliment coming from some of your fellow drivers that, there's a lot of you guys that really respect the hell out of each other, and justly so. But next 3 weeks is going to be a completely different animal. It's not about being smooth anymore. It's about, staying out of the big one and, dodging some wrecks and stuff, because we know we're probably going to see some of that. What are you thinking about the rest of the schedule? We got Talladega, ISS, and Talladega again. Not really something that some of the guys are looking forward to.
Yeah, me personally, I'm terrified of it. I don't know, I just hope to miss all the wrecks, especially at Talladega. It's normally a little worse for the recklessness of driving, but I don't know. These last 3 races, everybody's going to be pushing hard to get their last little bits of points, try and squeeze out a points championship or get that free entry in the next season.
Well, how tough was it getting around people tonight, and especially on that last lap? It looked like Winker was kind of, pulling out all the stops to try to keep your momentum from being able to pass. How tough was it out there just to generally pass during this race?
In the beginning, before the caution, it was pretty good. Everybody was pretty well spread out. The right front wasn't getting burned up from being in the draft, but after that caution come out and bunched everybody back up, got everybody back drafting, and it was just chewing up the right front. And right there at the end, by the time I got to Winker, my right front was chewed up. I just couldn't do nothing really with it.
Well, man, I know you wanted the win to go back-to-back race winners here, but still a second place is going to help you out in that championship kind of points run here as things slowly wind down this season, and you're still looking pretty good. You're in contention, so you got to keep your head up high and keep on fighting. And as well, before we let you go, I know you got a couple shout-outs you got to get out there.
Yeah, congratulations to Winker for the win, and thank y'all for broadcasting, and thank you for the number 6, Durkee, and Lawson for being such clean races there at the end, and everybody in the league for being so nice about everything. And my mama, my daddy, my sister, Hurricane Creek Racing, and y'all up there in the booth.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate it, man, and good luck. And good job here tonight, finishing second place, hard charger of the day, up 15 spots.
All right, thank you.
All right, and a man that was waiting for a moment like this and getting it at the best possible time. That's that 42 of Kevin Winker. Kevin, have you been able to relax your hands to release that wheel yet?
Yeah, just a little bit. That was stressful from the start all the way to the end. So yeah, definitely more relaxed now than it was about 10 minutes ago.
We heard Kale talking a little bit just now when we were talking to him about clean air and how that can make a huge difference, especially on that right front tire wear. Is that something you guys kind of balance in your head when you're trying to figure out where you need to be on the racetrack to take advantage of that clean air?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get behind somebody trying to make a pass, you get that aero tight push coming off of 2 and 4, so you got to be real careful with that. But I mean, obviously, if you're not right up behind somebody, it doesn't seem to be as bad. But obviously, clean air is obviously king, so you want to try to be up front as much as you can here.
Yeah, well, they threw every penalty in the book at you for all the shenanigans last week. How hard was it to come back from that? I mean, that's pretty amazing. You got an EOL and a drive-through in the pits. Yeah, so
Yeah,
how'd you manage to make it through that?
That caution, that's what changed my race. And once I came down for that drive-through, I ran the tank dry, and I was going to try to make it on 3 stops. I think I still would have been short by a couple laps, but then that caution came out, I had like 5 laps left, and I was run second. That flipped the whole race 180, and then I got fresh tires, and then I was out front there, and then Lawson and Durkee there pitted a lap sooner on that last stop, and then they got ahead of me, and then I got around them, and Kale's coming on strong there, but I think he kind of burned his right front up getting through Lawson and Durkee. They didn't have much for me. I threw that block on him on the second to last lap there. So, but otherwise, yeah, it was a great race overall. So.
And Lawson did predict that you were going to mention something about that caution, because that's what he told us too. He said that caution made a world of difference for Kevin. You know, helping him be able to recover and get back up there. I know we called Cale Turbeville the hard charger of the race, but man, you had to start way in the back, and just amazing performance this week, Kevin. Congratulations. Next 3 weeks going to be hectic. Talladega twice and iRacing Super Speedway sandwiched in the middle. Are you going to do some Carburetor Cup and just practice dodging wrecks, or how do you prepare for those kind of races?
I mean, there's no real way to prepare. I mean, you can have your plan and your game strategy, but that never goes to plan there, as you know. So our teams, we're going to do the same thing as we always do, hopefully be up front and dodge the wrecks. I know I haven't had the best of luck there at the play tracks the last couple times, so we'll go in there and see. I don't know where I am in the points. I know Critchley had a good night, Kale had a good night, Lawson, so I don't really know how much ground I made up on them, but I'll check that and see. But yeah, I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to run how I usually do and let the chips fall where they go.
Well, man, you definitely did a good job here tonight, and I know championship-wise you're still in it, but you got a lot of work to do here, and I look forward to seeing what you can kind of pull out of that magic hat that you might have sitting right there next to you. Before we let you go here tonight, though, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Yeah, first I want to give a shout to Zach Pearson for last week with the scuffle we had. It was just a racing deal, and emotions got the best of both of us, so sorry for that, and we can move on from that. And then shout out to Kale again for racing me hard there towards the end. That was a great battle. As always, shout out to my sponsor, Muehlberger Custom Homes, for coming on, sponsoring me and Josh and the race tonight, I believe. So thanks to them again. Shout out to my teammates. They were doing good, but then once that caution came out, they kind of had the short end of the stick. I think they all finished towards the back half of the field. So, but shout out to them again for just all the support, and we work well together. And then shout out to all the admins, Greg, Austin, all them. You guys in the booth every week with the great broadcast, so keep it up. And then shout out to Brandon and Justin. I think they're watching tonight. I'm not sure, but if they are, shout out to them as well. So hopefully it's a good race, and we'll go on the next week.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the race win here tonight at Indianapolis, and good luck the remainder of this short season.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Man, oh man. And with that, this race has come to a close, and we all had our ideas of what this race might look like, and then it changed once when we saw how it was going, and then it changed again, and man, we were not disappointed.
That's the thing about this league. You know, you can get these guys are so talented, and they're so close together and competitive that you can get this green flag racing at Indy, which you wouldn't think, you'd see much side-by-side action, but we saw quite a bit of it tonight. Guys challenging each other. And the competition in HCK Beagles Racing League is just, it really is second to none. We really do enjoy calling these races. And yeah, tonight, if you tuned in thinking you were going to see a single file, just run around clicking laps off, if you wanted to see that, you had to be disappointed, because it was a pretty damn exciting race, and I enjoyed watching it for sure.
Oh yeah, it was a thing of beauty for Indy. Like you said, normally it's just single file, but we had so many little battles throughout the night for the lead, and even down through 15, just really good, hard racing. No fights, but hey, I think we still saw a good one.
I think some of that might be because they took 5% power out of these cars, or trucks rather. So they're a little bit drafty dependent, clean air dependent for sure. So I think that might have had a little bit of something to do with making the difference between a single file race you see in these hosted sessions and this one, which was a lot of fun to watch.
And that it was. Well, while we slowly wind things down here from Indy, let's go ahead and talk about our final finishing order and tell people where their favorite driver did finish up here tonight. And that starts us off with, may not be the hard charger of the night, but man, if we ever had a rally train driver of the night, man, this is it. The 42 of Kevin Winker, starting up front, and then before they even took the green flag, went behind and even took a penalty, able to fight and claw his way back with a little help from a caution, was able to pick up the win here. So great job from that 42. Same thing with the 64, Cale Turbeville, up there, up 15 spots. So he's going to be the hard charger of the day, officially finishing in second. You had that 20 of Justin Lawson, who was up front just about all race long, had a really good run there for that 20. So great job for him in third. The 27 of Critchley, he was up, he was down, and he ended up in a top 5, fourth place finish. So that Canadian looking very, very strong. Same thing with the 1 of Derek Welch, bringing that Numb Thumbs gaming machine home in 5th. Excuse me, that's my context freaking out. The 3 of Hunter Smith had a solid race as well tonight, finishing in 6th, with the 6 of Paul Durkee bringing it home in 7th. Had the 4 of Eric Stoyd, his first race back after having his little youngin back home. He is in 8th, with the 84 of Josh Bittner having a solid night in 9th, with Zachary Peterson in that 96, rounding out tonight's top 10.
I like how Kevin Winker kind of buried the hatchet with Zach there. Of course, the 42 and the 96 with some on-track extracurriculars last week, but classy guys, man. These guys do their best to try to get along with one another, and glad to see that all's good between them now. Albert Anderson, the 2, will finish in 11th place tonight. Old Tenderfoot had kind of a mediocre race tonight for Albert. He just couldn't quite get up there where he wanted to be, but still solid finish in 11th. Brian Skidmore in the 75, same kind of situation. I thought Brian was going to be one of those guys we're going to see for sure, maybe in the top 6, 7, 8, somewhere up there. But Skidmore is going to be finishing in 12th tonight. Chachi, old Jonathan Osborne in the 81 machine, finishing in 13th spot. Little bit of different strategy late. I thought it might work out for him. He just ran out of time. He ran out of laps there. He really needed a caution to kind of make that newer tire strategy pay off, and just didn't quite get it. Just kind of luck of the draw there for Chachi, as he'll finish in 13th. Rodney Griffin, talk about a lot of side-by-side action. We saw Rodney in the 97 right there in amongst a bunch of different trucks, doing a lot of side-by-side stuff, dodging some sideways trucks as well. He'll finish in 14th. 15th, and Mark Collins, one of our None Thumbs racing cats out there. He started up in 10th and finished 5 spots down in 15th. Paul Ferdiani in the 66 started 13th, finished 16th. Cody State, same type of deal, same kind of story. Him and Rick LePage kind of finished right where they started there. Cody will finish 17th. Rick LePage in the 7, finishing 18th. Brandon Coleman, we saw a lot of damage on that truck early. Out there spraying for mosquitoes, with his engine on fire. But came in, got his fast repair done. A little bit of late contact. Had a little extra damage on that truck. Still finished in 19th place, though, so not as bad as it could have been for Brandon Coleman, the 54. The 5 of Steven Naylor started back in 27th. Able to snag a top 20 tonight, and that'll close out your top 20.
Yeah, 2 of 3 Earl Evans ended up 21st. The 37 of Dustin Reilly up 4 spots, the 22nd. 115 of Dave Mayberry has here 23rd. 408 of Rob Chowdhury, 24th. 12 of Austin Johnson, 25th. 110, Richard Michelob Gray. Looks like we got him at 22nd. 88 of Zachary Staten, 27th. Andrew Hansley, the 4th, 28. Michael Hicks 29th, Joshua Moore in the 51 machine 30th, and the 31 of Brad Taylor will round it out.
And with that, that is tonight's entire field. We thank you all for tuning in and watching and hanging out with us. You all are the reason why we do this and enjoying some great racing action like we saw here tonight. And man, talk about not being able to see it here tonight without the great sponsor of Muehlberger Custom Homes. Go check them out at MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com. They're out in that, I believe it's called Three Rivers area out there. Out there in Michigan, man. Go talk to Bruce, and he can help you design or remodel or do something with either a new home or with your existing house. And they use top quality materials and top quality products. And man, oh man, some of those houses look absolutely gorgeous. So definitely go give them some love, because he has put in a lot of love here for these HCK Beagles Racing League guys. We will see you all tomorrow night with some vigilante racing action. That one's going to be a good one, as I think we're heading back to a mile and a half this week. So that'll be some really good racing there, and we can't wait for it. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We go.
See ya.